The
wrong.
irony is, yeah, I don't think Elon Musk is like even a STEM lord, right? I think he's just autistic. So many people immediately go, oh, he's STEM coded. Nah, dog, he's just autistic. That's it.
You don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself. But
Face, bro, you can't see that. You can't say that on CNBC, man. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Great. Another testament to truly how powerful the billionaires can get. No, literally, yeah. He's so powerful under capitalism that he doesn't have to abide by capitalist rules. That should present a threat to you. That should pose a threat. Take him down, guys. Come on, do something. I love that. Also, he's so heroic. He's so heroically talking about like being able to be anti-Semitic. By the way, like that's it, and being incredibly racist in
I also
general.
think the algorithm, for me personally, because I'm looking for stuff, also is feeding me other things.
This is actually a challenge in that, like sometimes people will say, like, why is it showing me, posts from this person that I hate? And we were like, well, did you interact a lot with this person that you hate? Well, yes. Well, therefore, it thinks that you want to interact more with this person that you hate. That's like a reasonable.
Let me ask this:
you kind of want to have an argument.
When you tweet,
yeah.
Do you ever
Post.
Let's say post. When you post,
I mean, listen, I'm open, if anyone can come up with a better word, that would be great.
When you post, though,
but the least bad word I can think of is post.
When you post, though, are you trying to rile up either a base or an audience? Do you recognize the power you have in that? And also, by the way, not just rile up one version of side of it, but also rile down, which is to say, as I said, there are people who are demonstrably anti-Semitic on the site. I get Jew boy things and all sorts of things that come my way.
Hey, for a while they thought I was Jewish, so they would, I'd get it too.
But the question is,
my name is super Jewish.
Do you ever think to yourself, you know what? I'm going to go online and I'm going to say, these people, I condemn these people that are on my site.
There ain't no way he just said that.
Because
I have.
You say I've condemned anti-Semitism, but do you ever go?
Yeah, I said I condemn. I literally posted I condemn anti-Semitism in all its forms. Like that is a literal post that I made. I mean, I'm like, listen, if I can get out the thesaurus, if you and we could,
Let me ask you a different question.
You compose it, I'll post it.
Okay, let me ask you this.
No, ask him. Ask him if he thinks Jews have participated in white genocide.
About a month ago. And you said something that struck me, and it struck me as accurate, came out of your mouth, so hopefully it is. But I'm hoping we go deep on this.
Just because it came out of my mouth does not mean it's true.
No, but you said my mind is a storm. I don't think most people would want to be me. They may think they want to be me.
He's like a fucking 14-year-old hormonal teenager.
Your mind being a storm. I think it, I have known you for quite some time. I think it is a bit of a storm.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
most people don't know
a weather metaphor makes sense.
Most people don't know how crazy my mind is.
like a very wild storm. I mean, I have a fountain of ideas. I mean, I have more ideas than I could possibly execute.
All of them bad.
Of ideas. Innovation is not the problem. Execution is the problem. I've got a million ideas. I mean, I've got an entire design for an electric supersonic vertical takeoff jet, but I just can't do that as well. I've had that for 10 years. And there's a million things.
But is your storm a happy storm?
Dude, I love when people are so fucking narcissistic, bordering on mania at this point, that they think all of their ideas are the best ideas that ever
I think
come
that
to
actually,
fruition.
When people try to really understand you, I think that there's a lot of this comes from some other place. And
when you're a billionaire,
what do you think that
most
is?
people do treat you like you're fucking brilliant. What was that?
we should need like a psychiatrist couch here or something.
What was that noise?
I think to some degree I was born this way, and then it was amplified by a difficult childhood, frankly. But I can remember even in happy moments when I was a kid that it just feels like there's just a
difficult
rage
childhood
of forces in my mind constantly.
Beneficiary of fucking
Now this, productively manifests itself
apartheid
in
mining operations
technology
from
and
a
building
profoundly
things
wealthy father.
for the most part. So, and I think on balance, the output has been very productive.
It's so funny
I think the results, as we,
that like my
discussed
haters love
earlier with
saying like,
SpaceX.
Hasan, you hide that you come from an affluent background. It's like, first of all, my beginnings are broke boy shit in comparison to Elon Musk's. And secondly, I've never hid that. He always does.
And in fact, we wrote some of the software for the New York Times website, and we helped bring online several hundred newspapers that previously were only in print. Now this is in the 90s, which at this point is like, I'm like a grandpa, basically. The 90s and internet feels like a Precambrian era when there were only sponges. Anyway, I feel like a lot of productive things have been done, and you can also look at Tesla as being sort of many companies in one. Like our supercharging network is, if the Tesla supercharging network were its own company, it would be a Fortune 500 company by itself. Just the supercharging system. We also make the cells. We
That part's not wrong.
power electronics and the powertrain from scratch. We have the most innovative structural design.
I don't know if it'd be a Fortune 500 company, but it'd be very successful.
We have the best manufacturing technology at Tesla, better manufacturing technology than companies that have been doing it for 100 years. So these demons of the mind, are, for the most part, harnessed to productive ends.
Okay, so let me ask a
But
question
that
about that.
doesn't mean that once in a while they, go wrong.
But and this is a question I think a lot of people, are always trying to figure out about not just you, but sometimes themselves. Meaning, what is driving all of this? You're doing all of these things. Do you think that you would be as successful, whatever success is, if it wasn't being driven by I think that there's something you're trying to prove, either to yourself or to somebody. I don't know. We're all trying to prove something. Maybe I'm trying to prove it to my mother. I don't know.
I think one of the worst aspects of interviewing billionaires is that because they're the least touchable, the most untouchable members of society, there's never like an interesting interview out there that even challenges them remotely. I hate that.
Around 12, about what's the meaning of life? Isn't it all pointless? Why not just commit suicide? Why exist? I read the religious texts. I read the philosophy books especially the German philosophy books made me quite depressed, frankly. One should not read Schopenhauer and Nietzsche as a teenager. But then I read Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is a book on philosophy in the form of humor. And the point that Adams was making there was that we don't actually know what questions to ask. That's why he said that, the answer is 42. Like, basically, Earth's a giant computer, and it came up with the answer 42. But then to actually figure out what the question is, that's the actual hard part. And I think this is generally true also in physics. At the point at which you can properly frame the question, the answer is actually the easy part. So my motivation then was that, well, my life is finite, really a flash in the pan on a galactic time scale. But if we can expand the scope and scale of consciousness, then we are better able to figure out what questions to ask about the answer that is the universe. And maybe we can find out the meaning of life, or even what the right question to ask is. Where did we come from? Where are we going?
Cotton Eye Joe.
Aliens? Are there aliens? And, these questions, and is there new physics to discover? Or is this, because there seems to be some real questions around dark matter and dark energy. And so the purpose of SpaceX is to extend life beyond Earth on a sustained basis, so that we can at least pass one of the Fermi great filters, which is that.
Dude, Elon Musk always speaks like a fucking anxious teenager. Like, I feel like he's so stunted permanently. Sure, people could say the same thing about me because of the style of commentary, like because of my rhetorical style is definitely not invoking a cultured person. But the things he says are they're just so boring. They're so, I feel like I'm talking to a dumb guy trying to present himself as a smart guy in high school or something. Like, oh yeah, I read all the German philosophers. My mind is a deep, dark storm. You can't comprehend it. It's so vicious in there. No depth. So fucking insecure. I don't know. I look at this and I just read it as like incredibly insecure. You're salty but substantial. He's bland as fuck. No, he is so, it always feels like he's so desperate to present himself as like this deep person, empathetic, has profound thoughts. And like, there's virtually nothing underneath that. It's skin deep. You fucking scratch the surface a little bit, there's nothing underneath it. I read all of the religion books. It's brilliant.
Where you wake up in the morning and you're happy to be alive. There have to be reasons that you have to say, why are you excited about the future? Like, what gives you hope? And if you aren't sure, ask your kids. And I think the idea of us being
is literally how all STEM lords I've met think about philosophy and the humanities. They all go down this route coming from a STEM person. That's why my favorite STEM lord is, of course, my brother, who doesn't do any of that shit and doesn't even care. And when we were younger, used to say things like, why should I learn how to read and write correctly? I'm an engineer. I respect that so much more. A man who just sits there on Facebook and watches like videos of drilling and like mechanical engineering videos all day, every day in his spare time.
Over again that you're.
I respect that.
Well, sometimes they're right.
Well, sometimes they are, but I would say that when it comes to Tesla, when it came to SpaceX, people told you that you were crazy. You were out of your mind. This was never going to happen. This was never going to work. And so the reason I ask you this, though, is now when people say you're wrong.
The irony is, I don't think Elon Musk is like even a STEM lord, right? I think he's just autistic. So many people immediately go, oh, he's STEM coded. No, dog, he's just autistic. That's it.
And I know I'm right because I've had that experience. Or are there people in your life when they say, you know what, Elon, this is not right. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think what you're sort of trying to say is that...
No, don't defame the autistic community like that. Come on, bro.
I've been right so many times from other...
No, I just mean like people automatically go, oh, he's, dude, I think it's Big Bang Theory, okay? Big Bang Theory and its consequences on mankind must be studied. Everyone that's like even a little bit on the spectrum, immediately, automatically, everybody goes, oh, that's a STEM guy. He's a nerd. He's like a brilliant mathematician, probably. He's a savant. That's what it is. Bazinga. Straight up. That's literally what it is. When in fact, like, I don't think he's like a STEM guy at all.
That's much more difficult. So if you are wrong and persist in being wrong, the rockets will blow up and the cars will fail. So this is, we're not trying to figure out what flavor of ice cream is the best flavor of ice cream. Like, if there's 1,000 things that can happen on a rocket flight, and only one of them gets the rocket to orbit. And so being wrong results in failure when dealing with physical objects.
But that's the interesting part. So now you've built these great companies that physically, the physics of them are enormously successful. So successful, arguably, that you have leverage over everybody else, right? Nobody else can do Starlink. Nobody else can get the rockets in space yet. Amazon and Jeff Bezos are trying, but they haven't yet.
I hope he does.
You hope he does?
Yeah. I mean, I think, but I actually agree with a lot of Jeff's motivations. I mean, I think, you know, he's, you know, and let me put it this way. If there was a button I could press that would delete Blue Origin, I wouldn't press it. So I think it's good that he's spending money on making rockets too. You know, it's just perhaps he spend more time on it, but you know, it's up to him. I should make a point here. So.
Yeah, bro, there's no fucking competition. Both of you guys are government subsidized to the fucking wazoo. And it's like any kind of technological improvement is going to help either of you guys or both of you guys reach the fucking asteroid mining operation that you're trying to arrive at, or you're trying to get to.
You name one? I can't. At SpaceX, we don't use patents. So, I mean, she said once in a while we'll file a patent just so some patent troll doesn't cause trouble. But we're not stopping any. We've done nothing anti-competitive. We've done nothing to stop our competitors.
I'm not suggesting you are at all.
No, I just want to clarify for the audience, because some companies have done anti-competitive things. I think the strange thing, or the unusual thing about SpaceX and Tesla is that we've done things that have helped our competition. So at Tesla, we have made our supercharger system open access.